Hello, Myths and Legends students. During this quarter, we'll be using myvocabulary.com for our vocabulary unit. And this is a short tutorial to show you how to use this important website. One thing that I do want to mention is myvocabulary.com is a website outside of Blackboard. It is a safe website to go to, but if you do see advertisements on it, please ignore those. So to get started, go to myvocabulary.com, and this is what the homepage will look like. We'll be working on the root word lessons, and the best way to get to that section is to go up to this drop-down menu at the top. This will get you to where you need to go the easiest. And I'll zoom in just a little so you can see. This tutorial is based on our week 9 lessons. So for week 9, we're going to start the new series of roots for cern, jur, and leg. So I'm going to pull down to word roots 3. And for week 9, we'll be working on the beginner words. Next week in week 10, we'll go to the intermediate. And week 11, we'll go to the advanced. But let's take a look at word roots number 3 for beginners for week 9. And it'll take you to a page that looks like this. The puzzles that I want you to do for these roots are just the very first ones here in this pink band that's called Interactive Puzzles. So go ahead and click where it says Complete Word Puzzle. You should get then to a page that looks like this. You can see it's got our word roots, jur, cern, and leg in the beginner puzzle. This is for week 9. And if you look up in the gray box, this is always important to take a look at, it tells you the meanings of these new roots. So jur or jus means law, cern or cret means to separate or distinguish, ensure and settled, and then the third root word is leg, which means law. So now that you've taken a look through those, look down to the vocabulary word list, and here it gives you all the words you have to choose from for this week's puzzle. So in this beginner level, the words are adjustment, certain, certificate, collegiate, concern, illegal, injury, juror, justify, legislature, privilege, and secret. Now you might know some of these words already, but our main focus in doing this unit is learning about word roots so that you can recognize how words are constructed. And once you know that, you'll be able to use that knowledge to help you dissect new words when you come across them. So now move on to the puzzle. And the way this puzzle works is you read a definition, and then they give you part of the word. You need to fill in the rest. And again, be sure you're using words from this vocabulary word list. So number 1, a person who has taken an oath or sworn allegiance, a member of a panel. Well, I think that's a juror. And you just type in the words, the letters, excuse me. Go through and complete all of these puzzles. So there's this part 1. You scroll down a little bit. There's part 2. And this time you'll be working with cert and cern. And then there's a part 3. And here you'll be working with the leg or league root. So make sure you do all 3 parts of the puzzle. Now we're going to pretend that we've finished all of this. Once it's finished, click on this submit button that you see at the bottom of the page, and it'll give you results of your quiz. So I scroll down to the very bottom here. I only got 1 right because I only did 1. You will not be graded on these quizzes based on your score because I want this to be a learning activity. Instead, you'll get points for completing these quizzes. Here comes the next step then, is you need to show me, you need to prove to me that you've actually done this quiz. There's a couple of ways to do this. So let's go back up to the top of the page. Remember now, this is once you've submitted your score. Up here it says get a printout, so you can click on that. And you'll see this pop-up window that's the exact copy of your quiz. And from this then, if you scroll to the very bottom, little tiny print at the bottom. And I apologize, this is so small. But at the very bottom in blue it says print. You can click on that. And then you'll get, depending on if you're working on a PC or a Mac, you'll get the print command box. Now this is showing the printer. I don't want to actually print it out on paper. What I want to do is I want to save this as a PDF. If I'm working on a PC, I would choose PDF from my printer list. I'm working on a Mac though, and to save a PDF file on a Mac, it'll show up like this. And I have the option to save as a PDF. And then I'll get this little pop-up, and I can give this a name. I like to save it with my name first and then a description of what it is. And this is week 3 vocab. Okay, so I'll save that. And that will create a PDF copy of my quiz. And I can go back to the assignment form in week 9 and upload that PDF. You should have PDF Creator or some form of Adobe installed on your computer if you went through the Minnows orientation. If you don't, or if you can't get PDF to work, here's your other option. Again, we're going to look at this printout of our final score. If you can't get PDF to work, then go ahead and copy your whole test. Just go ahead and highlight and copy the entire thing. And then copy this. Either hit Control-C on a PC or Command-C on a Mac. And then paste all of this into a Word document and save it that way. So your two options are either to print out your test as a PDF and save it, or copy the entire test and then paste it into a Word document and save that. That's your two options. Please do not make a screenshot of just part of the test, because then I can't tell if you've done the right one. And please don't make a screenshot of just your score, because then I can't tell which quiz that you've done. And please don't email me your quiz, because then it can get lost in email. It might show up in my spam box, for example. So please use one of those techniques. Either save your test as a PDF file and submit it that way, or copy the whole quiz, the completed quiz, and paste it into a Word document and then submit that on the assignment form that way. We will be working in My Vocabulary each week. If you have questions about how this works, please contact me and we can meet in my Collaborate room to go through it together. Thanks, and I hope you'll enjoy using myvocabulary.com.